Hi, I'm David Dodge. Welcome to Green Energy Futures. Geothermal is really a back-to-the-future technology, a way of heating and cooling our homes that's been around for quite some time, but now seems poised to really take off.
Hi, my name is Devin Winshura, and I'm the founder of Envirotech Geothermal. And we're here today in our shop that we operate out of just outside of Sherwood Park. And we're standing in front of a geothermal unit that we commonly use in residential practices.
Devin started Envirotech Geothermal with his sister in 2006.
Well, I'm looking at about 20 heat pumps that are going into people's homes here in the next couple months. So the market and the industry is really growing, and we're excited to be part of it.
People are starting to gravitate to geothermal heating systems, says Steve Oslansky.
Yeah, it's very interesting. We're seeing a lot of people contact us in regards to, wanting to find more efficient ways to heat and cool their homes, not only from a comfort perspective, but also the cost perspective as well. A lot of the customers that are contacting us, they actually feel very passionate about the environment.
As it turns out, geothermal is one of a very few ways you can heat your home with few or no emissions. And people are starting to do this even in the northern climate of Edmonton, Alberta. So what does it look like in your home? It turns out the 400-foot deep boreholes will disturb only about half of your front yard.
So we bring a drilling rig in, whether it's the front or the backyard. It depends where your utilities come in now. We will drill a certain amount of boreholes. Depends on the size of your home. Average for a home would be 4 to 5 boreholes. And we come in, we drill it, we tie it into a header, which would look just like that. These two pipes coming up here would come in into your home and tie into a heat pump just like this. If you look behind these signs here, there is 8 pipes coming in there, and there's 8 pipes coming in on this other side as well. So all that means is that there was 8 boreholes drilled for this shop.
Those 8 pipes absorb the heat from the earth, which is actually quite low, anywhere from 0 to 6 degrees Celsius. Then the magic happens in the heat pump, which extracts heat from those cool temperatures and then upgrades it to heat Devin's shop via hydronic pipes in the floor.
This tank behind me here, this is an indirect domestic hot water tank. So what it does is it uses the same circuit that's heating the shop floor. There's in-floor lines here, and it's got a coil inside of here that then heats your domestic hot water. We can control that temperature just by setting a set point inside the unit.
Devin's system heats his shop through a hydronic loop in the floor, but heat pumps can also simply replace existing forced air furnaces.
So I will show you over here, we have another forced air unit. This is very common in residential homes. Again, GeoSmart Premium G, this is a forced air unit. So inside here is your fan, full variable speed fan, and then this is your air coil where your refrigeration will either be warm or cold based on the set points. And then on this side panel, you can see the refrigeration circuit a little bit better. We have a compressor back in here. And we have a TXV, we have a filter dryer, here's your TXV here, this is what meters, and this is your ground loop coax heat exchanger here. So your ground loop water comes through here, and your refrigeration circuit is also wrapped within this insulation, and that's where the magic happens. That's the exchange of your heat from your ground loop. So this is what makes it a ground source heat pump.
Darren and Darcy Crichton upgraded the insulation, air sealing, and added solar to their 1960s bungalow in Edmonton. The last step was to replace a very old furnace with a geothermal system. The last straw happened during the heat dome and 37-degree temperatures in the summer of 2021, when the Crichtons realized geothermal systems also provide air conditioning.
There's no limitations to what geothermal can do. Any type of heat, whether it's hydronic, whether it's forced air, domestic hot water, we could do it all. So it's for everybody.
As Steve explains, your gas connection is no longer required.
If you're installing in a new build, you don't have to pay for all of those natural gas components up front. You don't have to buy a furnace. You don't have to buy a boiler for your hydronic heating. You don't need to buy a domestic hot water tank. Or any air conditioners, or even add garage units into that mixture as well. So we provide solutions that pretty well replace your full mechanical system from a conventional standpoint and replace it with a geothermal heating and cooling system.
In essence, a geothermal system can provide all your heating, cooling, and hot water needs, which is worth keeping in mind when you consider the cost, which can be in excess of $30,000.
Instead of paying a gas company, you're paying for your geothermal. So it gives people the comfort that their system is now not only great for the environment, but extremely efficient.
So, no more gas bill. And now you own your own utility.
So with payback period, it is, we tread lightly with it. It is a very common question, and we've seen payback periods as fast as 8 years. We've seen them go 20 years. It is very based on installation and the price of natural gas, which keeps moving, and now we know which way it's moving. So the higher natural gas prices go, the faster your payback period will be. And we as a company believe that, we're going to see 10-year paybacks.
With interest-free loans available from the federal government or through PACE-like programs in cities like Edmonton, you will no longer be out of pocket each month more than usual. But in as few as 10 years, the system is paid for and the real savings begin. For Green Energy Futures, I'm David Dodge.
So Pierre, we promote ourselves as a turnkey solution. We take care of all of the trades up front without the homeowner having to lift a finger. So tell us a little bit about that experience.
Yeah, the process was excellent, and you never know when you're dealing with relatively new technology and new companies and that what it's going to be. But your company was excellent. Literally, just from the time you started till the time you handed over the thermostat to me and said go, it's been excellent. Any kind of issues and concerns, most of them are actually kind of funny rather than serious. Just learning how to use a new system like this. It is different. The heating system, the way the air is heated and everything is different. So it takes a little bit of time to learn, but your company's always been great. Literally on my text, I can text Josh or yourself and get an answer right away. And so that's been excellent. Certainly no concerns about anything, and so it's been great to have a company like that we can trust to look after us.
We're here at the Red Deer Energy and Innovation Fair, and came across Steve's booth here with Envirotech Geothermal, and I thought perfect opportunity to have a quick chat about what geothermal is, how it could benefit, say, our build, where we build with ice panel systems and have very energy efficient homes, and just to give an understanding to the general public out there. What is it and why? So I'll let you run off, Steve, with kind of what is geothermal?
Yeah, absolutely. So basically we're using the heat that comes from inside of the earth in order to both heat and cool. So these systems come with built-in heating and air conditioning as well. So they replace the need, depending on the heat pump you choose, for forced air furnaces, boilers, air conditioning units, and some of them even have their own specialized domestic hot water tanks as well. So there's kind of an application for everything. Of course, with the envelopes that you're building, you've got lesser heat loss with that. So all of our systems are designed to what the heat loss is.
Right.
The lower the BTUs per hour, the smaller the system size, and then we put a certain type of ground loop design depending on what the requirement is for the BTUs per hour.
So now, when it comes to these systems, correct me if I'm wrong, but with these systems, the only thing that's external is the ground loop. Otherwise, the equipment's all internal in the building, so we don't have any, say, like a furnace where you have venting to the exterior, it freezes up in the winter, or you have AC units or heat pump units sitting outside that can have, at times, some issues with freezing up. So with your system, we're avoiding all that because the equipment's to the interior, the ground loop stuff is all under the ground, protected and doing its job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
we wheel into houses to do services, and you'd have no idea that there was even a geothermal system in these houses.
Right.
And all the pipes are below the ground. The mechanical equipment is all housed very safely in the comfort of the home, and so you don't have any of these mechanical components exposed to our brutal Alberta winters.
Yep. And there's no natural gas needed for this equipment, correct? It's just running off of the electricity. So we can bring in one service, we can cut out gas if need be, or if you have natural gas, so be it, we can generate power with that. Yeah. And then, so I guess you have different ground loop systems. So when would you use one system over the other, and why?
Yeah, so there's a few key types here. Horizontals, if we have enough space out in the country, we'll do a horizontal ground loop. Then we only need to do excavation with, say, a big excavator, a big dozer, things like that. When we're in the city, we don't have enough space to extract a certain amount of heat, by using a horizontal type system. So therefore, if you can't go out with the amount of pipe, you have to go down. And so our ground loops, depending on the time of year, will operate anywhere from 0 to 10 degrees Celsius. With that, you get that initial heating load taken off in the winter time, and then also consider the fact that these have a refrigeration circuit within there. So you reverse that. It's got a reversing valve for the summer months to take advantage of the cooling. Now you're pulling up to 10 C temperatures, and you can almost make ice inside your house with very minimal effort. So you can make it so cold that it's super uncomfortable for you.
Now that's cool. And considering that, like with our homes being built with the ice panel system, it's like, at the end of the day, like a great big Yeti cooler or whatever that's really well done. It's going to hold in that heat or hold in that cool. Either way, it works both ways. So a system like yours is going to run very efficiently in our homes. That's just honestly such cool technology.
Yeah.
So you were mentioning too that the system can space heat and it can do domestic water heating.
Yeah.
You can do in-floor heating with it too.
Yeah. And we can do pools. So we can do hot tubs. We can do swimming pools. We can do cold plunge pools.
Yep.
We're just exchanging, temperatures throughout the building. So we have some customers that have like theaters inside their homes, for example. So when they've got 30 people inside this theater, they can actually cool the theater while they're heating the rest of the house. And you can do this in the middle of winter. So Christmas time, the house gets a little bit of warm, everybody's cooking turkey, the temperatures are rising, you've got a bunch of people in the house, you can air condition your home in the winter time. Because you're not exposed to the outside elements.
Yep.
Right? So everything, all the magic is happening below the ground and within the heat pump itself.
Yep. And then so you guys are supplying all the equipment required to do the job. And then it's just a case of like me as the builder planning for that you're doing that stuff, bringing in, say, the sheet metal guy to do the duct working if we have a forced air system, or a plumber to do plumbing connections. But otherwise you're supplying equipment, you install ground loop systems. So when we get into, say like for us, we do a lot of rural builds. So rural builds, doing a nice big ground loop obviously makes most sense. I assume it's the most cost effective. And we got the space to work with typically.
Yeah.
So
So we complement a new build. We recognize that builders already have their HVAC connections and things like that. So we complement the types of mechanical systems, things like that. So we'll work with the HVAC folks to provide them with the sizing. These do have additional CFM that gets pushed, which makes the air more comfortable and fills the space a little bit better, so you don't get those hot and cold spots.
Yep.
So the ducting has to be sized accordingly. Similar to the electric, we need a certain requirement for the power and things like that. So the electrician, all the existing trades that are on site can very, very easily, connect to this type of system. We'll take care of the grounding because that's all very specialized, as well as the startup and commissioning of the ground source heat pump as well.
Right on. Well, that's awesome. Well, I don't got much more to say about it, so I guess that's it. Reach out if you have questions.